And welcome back to another CBB Talk with your boy, Will Dickinson. What a weekend of college basketball we had. Man, some teams are separating themselves from the pack. Some are going in bubble conversation, and others got really big wins. We got unpack all of the action over the last, I guess, 2 days. Nothing really major today or Friday. So really Saturday, Friday, the only thing that happened was Loyola Chicago. I it wasn't really an upset, I guess. Beat Dayton. I moved Dayton out of my top 25 for the first time in a long, long time. Um, they just got caught by a good Loyola Chicago team, and we'll see if they can, get the auto bid in the A10 tournament in 2 weeks. But we gotta get to Saturday because we had a lot of good games. As always, we go in chronological order. And let's get into this. So, 12 o'clock, there wasn't really a lot. There was two big games. One of them was a ranked on ranked matchup, Florida and South Carolina. This was a very, very good game. Florida in that first half was playing very well. They were turning over South Carolina, didn't give them anything easy, and they were making threes. But in the second half, South Carolina played amazing, and Michi Johnson was the guy for them down the stretch to hit big time threes, big time shots, and he finishes with 27. South Carolina gets a home victory over Florida. This should lock them into the NCAA tournament. South Carolina, I got them ranked 16th in the nation. Got a really good win, a good 2-0 week for the Gamecocks. We were scared that they were fraudulent, but they played really good these last 2 weeks. And a win over a good Florida team. Florida is, I think, is going to be an NCAA tournament team. I don't know if they're locked in yet. Maybe one more win away from being a lock. Tough game. Walter Clayton, hit some big time threes. Kugel had a good game, but Will Richard couldn't really get going, and they struggled down the stretch to get stops when they needed to. And that was probably the biggest reason they couldn't win. Yeah, Richard finishes with 0 points, so you just can't have that. Kugel had 13, some big shots. Pulling 18. But yeah, when you have Richard scoring 0, got in some foul trouble there, and Michi Johnson was insane. So a tough loss for the Gators. Obviously, they dropped out of my top 25 after that one, but I still like Florida, and I think they're going to be a hard team, a hard draw. If they get like an 8-9 seed, that's gonna be a tough draw for a 1 seed, and definitely their first round game. Obviously we will wait to see how they do in the SEC tournament in this next week, but I think they'll be a tough team come tournament time. Villanova Providence was a huge bubble game, probably the most impactful bubble game of the weekend. Villanova goes on the road into Dunk and wins. Justin Moore leads the way with 15 points. Eric Dixon had a very solid game. Halls and off the bench hit some big threes. Yeah, and Villanova, this win was huge for them. I think this puts them on the right side of the bubble and puts Providence on the wrong side. To win a game like this, on the road in a really tough place to play, they needed it and they got it. This would put them above Providence, in my opinion. Obviously, Villanova has a lot of good wins, but it has some bad losses, and they're already at 12 losses, and they have a big week coming up. They gotta go. Oh no, Providence has a big week. They go play. I believe they play Georgetown. Um, Georgetown and Creighton or Georgetown and UConn this next week. They got to beat Georgetown to keep their season alive. And then we see they might have to get a win or two in the Big East tournament. Villanova controls their own destiny, keep winning games. Good win by Cal Neptune squad. That should put them on the right side of this bubble as of now. A big game took down in Madison. Oh, well, we thought it would be a big game. Illinois and Wisconsin. Illinois goes on the road and takes down the Badgers. Man, Wisconsin, since I believe the turn of the year, or maybe halfway through January, I would say, since at least the start of February, they've been terrible. I believe they lost 7 out of their last 9 games. And look, this team is probably going to be in the NCAA tournament just because of the way they started out. They had big wins. They have a win against Marquette. They got the road wins against Michigan. They won some big games and they were playing well. I think they were inside my top 10 at one point. They've been terrible recently, and whoever if they end up getting a 6 or 17, I would love that draw for whoever goes against them. Illinois, I think Illinois is legit. Of course, Marcus Domas 31 was amazing in this one. Terrence Shan's been really good, and we see their connection. They got a really good dynamic duo over there. They give each other the ball. They look like they're not mad when if one has it going tonight, the other one can take a step back and still be effective. And I like that guard duo during March. Of course, Coleman Hawkins. I think this Illinois team is very scary. They can make a run in the NCAA tournament. Of course, they're not as good as that 2021 team with Ayo Dosunmu, but I think this team is very good and can make a Final Four push. I got Illinois ranked 13th in the nation going up too after a good road win in Madison. Not an easy place to play, obviously. But yeah, Wisconsin's really struggling. They got to win their home game against Rutgers in the middle of the week if they want to be in the NCAA tournament. First big game that we got to show you on the screen here. Kansas, Baylor, big time matchup in the Big 12. And Baylor, this is their fourth straight win over the Jayhawks at home. Ray J. Dennis leads the way. Double-double with 19 points, 10 assists. What a game from Ray J. I think the way he can handle the game. I think he outplayed DeJuan Harris in this one. He's a real true point guard. He handles the ball. He plays pretty much every minute for this Baylor team. He's the engine of this team, and he gets everyone in the right place. And I love the way he's been playing. And that loss against Houston, he was really good. This game, he was really good. Then you have Jaden Nunn, 7 for 8 from the field. He had 18. The VCU transfer has been playing really great basketball. I think since getting that, I don't know if he's been starting the whole year, but no Langston Love in this one. They need him to be good. Yves Missi, he started that game with the dunk. I mean, that dunk he had was insane. Like he just floated in the air, just yammed it. I believe that was on. Oh my gosh, was that on Hunter Dickinson? I think it was on Hunter Dickinson. That was amazing. Of course, Jacoby Walter struggled 3 for 13 in this one. Jalen Bridges wasn't great, but Baylor led by their two guards and Yves Missi playing really good. I like Baylor. They're proving me. I was a little hesitant on Baylor earlier in the year, but they've proved me wrong, and they've been playing really good basketball of recent. Kansas, on the other hand, hasn't. This is an 0-2 week for the Jayhawks. They have the most losses under Bill Self in the Big 12 now with their 7th. They had Kevin McCullough back, and I said if Kevin McCullough plays, I think Kansas can win this game. And it didn't matter. He had 20 in this one, 0 for 5 from 3, so he hasn't got that shot back, and that's a big problem. Kansas really just couldn't shoot the 3 in this one. 4 for 13. They only took 13. It didn't matter. This team doesn't rely on the 3 ball at all. So they could be a big matchup dependent team because they don't shoot the 3 a lot. Hunter Dickinson was very solid there, but you have, again, no bench production, which Marco Jackson at 8, I guess, is solid. But this has been the story of Kansas all year, and they have to get fully healthy. They have to rely on that starting 5. Kansas is at 14th in the nation for me. This is the lowest the Jayhawks have been all year, and I feel like I said that last episode, but no, they're back to now being the lowest they are again. Not trending in the right direction as Kansas, but they could go and win the Big 12 tournament. And I think they have a date with Houston next weekend on the road. Maybe they can turn around their season there. It's doubtful. Houston looks like the best team in the nation. Kentucky scores 111 in a shootout against Arkansas in regulation. This team, look, this is the way they play. They're gonna have track races. They're gonna shoot a lot of threes. They're gonna be efficient. They're not gonna play a lot of defense, but they get wins. And this is a great team effort. Antonio Reeves, Reed Shepard, Rob Dillingham down the stretch was amazing. Big Z. Kentucky's deep. Justin Edwards was good. This team is it's interesting. I've never seen a team like this in college basketball that doesn't care about defense at all, and they're just going to go out and score 100, or they're going to race to 100. It's fun to watch, and this team is super talented. They have a ridiculous ceiling, but the way they play defense, they're susceptible for an upset. But we'll see. I like Kentucky. They were in my top 5 earlier this year. I got them at 15, one spot behind Kansas. But I think they're playing better than Kansas right now. But overall, it's hard to put them above Kansas because I believe Kansas has beat them this year. Let's see. Arizona dominates Oregon. Arizona's gonna buy for that 1 seed, but Tennessee, you see the title, my 4 1 seeds. Tennessee got a huge win, but Arizona, Tennessee, UNC, they're gonna be fighting for that last 1 seed, in my opinion. And Arizona did their thing. Good game, Caleb Love, Pele, Larson. Good game. It was an easy win for the Wildcats, as they're gonna win the Pac-12. I'm pretty sure, or maybe Wazoo. Oh no, it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna come out of last season. Marquette Creighton was a big one. Marquette loses. They didn't have Tyler Kulik in this one, and then which I kind of talked about in the last episode. Wasn't sure if he was gonna play. They also didn't have Oso Ighodaro, so they didn't have two of their three best players. And Marquette Creighton won by 14. It was closer than that. Creighton was down to it. I mean, Marquette was down to at half. It was close to the end, and then those last couple minutes, Creighton pulled away. Baylor Shireman's been playing like an All-American. Trey Alexander, that's a legit duo that can go for both of them. Can go for 20 every given night. But I don't. This loss doesn't make me feel bad about Marquette. Obviously, I moved them down to two spots, number 8. Creighton stays the same at 10. Creighton has 2 top 5 wins this year, first time ever in program history, I believe. The Blue Jays are a legit title contender in this Big East tournament with Marquette, Creighton, and Villanova and UConn. It's going to be interesting because one of those teams is going to lose in the semifinals. We'll see which one, but Creighton has national champion DNA. I'll tell you that much. They have a great ceiling and they can score the ball amazing. And then they have an enforcer down low like Ryan Kalkbrenner. Iowa State survives on the road. They don't play pretty games, but they get a win. Iowa State, my 5th team in the nation. If they can somehow win the Big East, a Big 12 tournament, maybe they could buy it for a 1 seed. It's just gonna be tough. They're a 2 seed right now. Auburn, great win for the Tigers. They easily beat Mississippi State by 15. John A. Broome had a good game. Jalen Williams is looking, healthier, and this is a great bounce back win after the loss to Tennessee on the road. They get a nice win there. Beat a tournament caliber team like Mississippi State. Who knows if Mississippi State's going to be a tournament team after having an 0-2 week? They would have loved to have that win against Kentucky earlier in the week though. UNC dominates their rival NC State. It was Harris Ingram, good game. Elliot Cadeau had a very underrated game there. Look, NC State's nothing special. Good win for the Tar Heels. You just couldn't lose that game. South Florida has claimed the American regular season with a road win over Charlotte. I think Charlotte was favored in this one. Didn't matter. Stop downing South Florida. Chris Youngblood had a good game. I really like this South Florida team. I hope they're an at-large team. I think they are an at-large team. It's hard to deny the way they've been playing recently. Yes, they have really bad losses early in the year, but it hasn't mattered. They played amazing in conference play, and they're playing like one of the best teams in the nation. I'm pretty sure they have the longest win streak now after that St. Mary's loss. Iowa took down Northwestern on the road. Just a big win for the Hawkeyes. Boo Buie had 27. Didn't matter. Dix for Iowa, 24 in this one. Payne Sanford had a good game. Look at Iowa make a tournament case. Look at the Hawkeyes. Could they be that team that sneaks in backdoor if they win 2 games in the Big Ten tournament? Maybe. Northwestern, I believe, will be in for the back-to-back years. And Boo Buie is one of the best point guards in the nation. But yeah, I don't want to lose a game at home, and that gives Iowa a real shot at making the tournament. Wake loses again. I think they're out right now. They're going to have to go win some games in the ACC tournament. They're going to need to have a good week next week. Yeah, I mean, Virginia Tech's a scary team at home. They got a good win there, but tough loss for Wake. After that Duke game, now they've lost 2 games in a row. You just can't have it. Shout out to Brown. They get into the Ivy League tournament. The only top 4 teams do it. Brown is that 4th team. I believe they're going to have to go play Princeton. But shout out to the Brown Bears for getting in for the first time ever. Cool story over there in the Ivy. Duke dominates Virginia. I mean, what do I want to say about Virginia? I mean, this team is not a tournament team. They scored 18 points in the first half. Kyle Flukowski had 15 at half, and Virginia had 18. Virginia is not a tournament team. Their offense is the worst offense I've seen from a power team maybe ever. Like, I think DePaul's offense might be up there. DePaul's offense might be up there. It really is. Virginia can't score the ball. Reese Beekman had 18, 6 and 7. It's bad. It's real bad. Tony Bennett's going to have to change something this offseason. Look, he's a great coach, but something's going to have to change in the offensive end. The Cavaliers have been struggling. That's their 9th. I don't think Virginia's a tournament team. They're going to have to win a game in the ACC tournament for sure. And I'm not sure who Virginia has next week, but they might need a 2-0 week. They really might need a 2-0. Yeah, 2-0 week. Or they have 1 game next week? They actually might have 1. They have 1 or 2. I'm going to go look right now. Already played 30 games. Pretty sure you only play 31. Yeah, they have one game. They play Georgia Tech next week, so they should win that game. But still, man, it's 9 losses. They're gonna have to win one in the ACC, and they're gonna most likely to get the double bye, which is big. But I don't know. More Ivy League action. Princeton took down Cornell. Huge win for Princeton. Princeton has 3 losses all year. I want to see this team back in the tournament. Obviously, they made a big run last year, making the Sweet 16. I think this team is better than last year's team, led by Zaven Lee, one of my favorite players in all of college basketball. So shout out to big Zaven. He's been great this year. I think he's averaging 18 points. I want to see Princeton in the tournament. They're going to be my dark horse team, I think, to make a big run in this one. But they have to go win the Ivy because Cornell's good and Yale is also very, very good. So that's going to be an interesting tournament. Clemson gets upset by Notre Dame. Shout out to the Fighting Irish taking down Wake Forest and taking down Clemson in the same week at home. Big win there for the Fighting Irish. Not a great season year one under Michael Shrewsbury, but they're building something there. Burton, the freshman, is really good. He could win freshman of the year in the ACC. Kind of coming out of nowhere. He's averaging, I think, like 16 points a game. He's been really, really good. Clemson, tough loss, but they'll be dancing this year. Syracuse is the fourth team in the ACC right now. They've come out of nowhere, and I think I would put Syracuse right now in the tournament. I really like Syracuse preseason. I was talking a lot of good things about Syracuse. And Judah Mintz is a real good player, but Bell is good. JJ Starling's good. This team is dangerous. And I think they could make a tournament team. I really do. They got one more game this year, and then if they get no double bye in the ACC, that's going to be huge for them because they might get Wake, and that would be that's going to be a quad one win if they can get it. Watch Syracuse be a backdoor tournament team. Great year one under Red Audrey. Houston, great road win over Oklahoma. They get the job done. Tight one. Jamal Shed game winner. Jamal Shed is just he's so good. Jamal Shed is going to be a first team All American type player. Right now he's my favorite to win Big 12 Player of the Year. Houston, first year in the Big 12. Many people are just hating on Houston, maybe me included. I was like, is Houston a team that can go in and maybe they could struggle in year one in the Big 12? I was a guy who maybe believed that. They've proved it. They've proved us wrong. I mean, it's quite remarkable, honestly, to just see what they've done. What did I have preseason ranked Houston? I had them sixth in the nation, so I wasn't doubting them too much. But I didn't know. And Jamal Shed's, I mean, it's insane. His development. LJ Cryer had a big game, but obviously that shot by Jamal Shed to win it. Oklahoma fought, played a great second half, kind of came back in this one to win. Maybe force OT didn't happen. So shout out to Oklahoma giving a good test. And Oklahoma, I'm just not sure where they'll fall in the tournament. I think they'll be in. They had a really good start to the year. I think they were 13-0, but 6-10, I guess, in their last 16. I'm not a big fan of the Sooners this year. I've been calling them frauds, since they were ranked. So shout out to Houston though. Good Jamal Shed. Houston looking like they're going to win the Big 12 in their first year in it. It's just a remarkable story. Kelvin Sampson's done an amazing job. Jamal Shed looking like Big 12 Player of the Year. And Mackey, Purdue takes down Michigan State. I don't know about Michigan State. This is lost 12 of the year. They got a big week coming up for Michigan State. They got Northwestern on Wednesday. That's a huge game. Northwestern at Indiana to finish the week. So they play Sunday. So this might have to be a 2-0 week for Michigan State. That's two huge games. Like you gotta go and win both of them. I think Purdue, they're going to be a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Zach Edey was just, I mean, dominant in this one. Man, Michigan State has to play Xavier Booker more. I mean, he had a good game. Tyson Walker had an game. But yeah, Zach Edey, 32-11. He's going to win POY easily back-to-back years. So shout out to Big Eads. Does his thing. I'm not a big Purdue fan, but I got to respect what Purdue's done this year. And they're going to win the Big Ten again and probably be a 1 seed again. But this year, at the end of the day, what's going to be the conversation about Purdue is can they get it done in March? And it's a valid concern until they do it. And I'm okay with saying that. Boise State takes down New Mexico. I like Boise State. Do I have Boise State ranked? I got Boise State in my rankings at 25. Good win. Omar Stanley, a guy who I haven't talked about a lot, 24 in this one. Dangle Hard, a good game. This is a very deep Boise State team, a team that was in the NCAA tournament last year and the year before, looking to make 3 straight bids. An underrated team, I think, all year. They've kind of just been lost in the Mountain West. I believe they're tied at the top right now with Utah State. New Mexico, another loss. Look, New Mexico is going to have to go probably 2-0 next week to be in the tournament. I would have them out right now. The Lobos have been struggling these last couple of weeks. Good game from the freshman JT Tobin. Didn't matter. The Mountain West tournament is going to be so fun. Like, besides the Big 12 tournament, I'm probably looking forward to the Mountain West the most because I think that has a lot of interesting teams on the 8-9 bubble line. It's going to be fun to watch because, these teams need big wins and there are going to be a lot of quadrant one opportunities. This game maybe was the game of the day. Maybe not game of the day, but going into it, it was looked at the best game. Tennessee at Alabama. Nick Saban in the building. Jalen Milroe in the building. Justin Thomas. Stars were there to see game day in Alabama. A big chance to be a top 5 team in the country, and it didn't matter. Alabama's offense just wasn't there. Look, what did they shoot from 3? It was bad. 9 for 37. I mean, damn, Tennessee was 12 for 40. So, yeah, Tennessee also didn't have a great offensive game. It was high scoring because Bama doesn't play great defense, but both teams really didn't shoot the ball well. Connect struggled. He was in foul trouble a lot during this game. Really, a lot of Tennessee was in foul trouble early on, and that's why they were, kind of Alabama went on a huge run the end of that second half there to take a lead, but they really just couldn't shoot the ball. Neither team shot it well. But Zakai Ziegler, since he's been fully healthy, I feel like most of this year, he's been one of the best point guards in the nation there. We see Josiah Jordan-James make some big corner threes. Jonas Idu, he's a very good big. Vescovi, it's insane. Vescovi has been an all SEC first team, second team player. This year, he's just taken the back seat, and he's been a leader on this team. Jemai Meshack was good. I like this Tennessee team. I think they're the 4th 1 seed at the moment. Will they hang on to that? It's tough to tell. There's a lot of teams buying for it. If UNC goes and wins out, gets a road win against Duke, it's hard to deny that. We still got a lot of basketball to play, but shout out to Tennessee for getting a road win against Alabama. Bama, I have Bama out of my rankings right now. I do. I just don't like the way they play. They're kind of like Kentucky that with no defense, but their offense just isn't as good. They struggled. They are really relying on the 3. Rylan Griffin's been struggling these last 2 games, so it's back-to-back losses for the Tide. I have them out. This is 3 straight losses, I believe, for Alabama. Is this 3 straight for Bama? Because they lost to Kentucky. This might be 3 straight for Bama. I'm checking right now. No. Okay, this is 2 out of last year. They beat Ole Miss earlier this week. I forgot about that. I was never big on Bama. They had an OT win against Florida. They got blitzed at Auburn. So I don't know. They ended up losing both games in Tennessee this year. They gotta go at Florida on Tuesday. That's a huge game. So we'll see how they can respond after that. But I really like Tennessee. A huge win for them. And we'll see how the Volunteers, can bounce, keep it going. And if they can hold them to that 4th 1 seed, because right now I think it's theirs to lose at the moment, in my opinion. BYU took down TCU. Great week for BYU, 2-0. I got BYU up to 20th. TCU out of my rankings, but I think TCU will be in the tournament. I'm not too worried about that. I think Richmond's the one in the A10, or maybe tied with Loyola. Shout out to the Spiders. Got a nice win against VCU. Maybe they can get the auto bid in the A10. It'll be close. They have that win over Dayton already this year. So very good job from them. St. Mary's loses to Gonzaga. Gonzaga's legit. Gonzaga's scary good, man. They've really, obviously they've been playing really well since that loss to St. Mary's early in the year. They go in and just dominate this game on the road. Graham Ike was amazing. Ryan Nemhard, just a real leader point guard. And yes, this team's like Kansas. They have absolute zero depth. I believe they had 16 minutes total from their bench. So if they get in foul trouble, could struggle. They have really no guard depth. But at their peak, they're really good. I got Gonzaga 18th. They have that road win against Kentucky. I think that really flipped the switch for this team. They realized they can go and win that type of game They can really win any game in college basketball. They went and did that. They shut down Aiden Mahaney. He had a really inefficient game. Augustus Markakis, was that his name? Marcelonis, maybe? He's probably WCC Player of the Year. Didn't really do much in this one. I still have St. Mary's ranked at 21. Gonzaga's 18. This is going to be a two big WCC again. And we'll probably see these two teams in the WCC championship for the rubber match. I'm excited for that. Obviously, that bracket's stupid because they automatically go to the semifinals. There's 9 teams. Just make the 8-9 play and then have an 18 bracket. They try to make it so the best teams win it to get more people in the NCAA tournament. I understand why they do it. I don't like it. It's ugly, but a really good win for the Zags. The Zags are back, man. In their team, that if they get a 6 seed, a 7 seed, and you're that 3 or 2 that's playing them, I would hate that because it's Gonzaga. They make Sweet 16s. Mark Few is one of the best coaches of all time. This is probably not the year they're gonna win it all, but this is still a very dangerous team. And then today, I don't think there was really anything crazy today. It was kind of a slow day. Um, the Sunday games or CBS games, there's none of them are good. UConn dominates. I mean, UConn, Stephon Castle, if he's playing like that, UConn's maybe unbeatable. Tristan Newton, Stephon Castle, Cam Spencer, that's a great backcourt right there. Klingon's been playing way better recently. Um, UConn's scary, and I think Seton is going to not make the NCAA tournament this year. Good year 2 for Sheen Holloway. I just don't know if they'll make it. Drake, I think might be my Drake, Indiana State. I hope that's the championship in the MVC. Maybe it can be multi-bid. It's going to be tough for them. Ohio State, man, this is weird. Ohio State is like, I think they're creeping in. I think Ohio State is creeping their way to me in an NCAA tournament team. They fired um Chris Holtman and who's I can't remember Ohio State's coaches. Their new coaches came in and you just flipped the switch just like that. They destroyed Michigan today. Bruce Thorne had a good game. I mean, Battle had a huge game earlier this week. Look at Ohio State. I mean, it's just insane. In my opinion, just how they've come out of nowhere after they had a really good start to the year, then struggled. They fired their coach, flipped the switch just like that. Monday, we got to start some conference tournaments on Monday, man. Okay. We got some good games. Duke at State, NC State could be interesting. I don't know if that's really a rivalry. I mean, I'm from here. I don't think NC State hates Duke, but that's gonna be an interesting game there. I got Duke ranked 9th in the nation. Let's see if they can get a road win. And then they're gonna have a game against UNC for the regular season to see if they can, I think get a share of the ACC. That should be a really, really good one. The ASUN tournament starts. We got the first round of Jacksonville versus Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State made it last year. They lose Sharif Abdul-Rahim. Not great. And then Queens versus Florida Gulf Coast. I mean, not really great games, but it's conference tournament. Someone's season is going to end tomorrow, which sucks. And then the other good game, Texas Baylor, could be interesting, but Baylor at home, I expect them to, keep the momentum after that Kansas game and win. But maybe Texas has been playing solid recently. I think they're gonna be at 8-9. I think they're gonna be in the 8-9 game is Texas, and maybe if they can get a win here, maybe they can move up. On Tuesday, Sun Belt tournament starts. First round. I mean, I expect that championship to be App State JMU. And maybe if we'll see if they can get 2 bids. It will be tough, but I expect that to be a championship. But we got Coastal versus Louisiana Monroe. And then we get the Patriot League starting Holy Cross Army. Man, conference tournament basketball, man. It's gonna be fun. But let's go. Tuesday, Syracuse Clemson. Huge ACC game for Syracuse. Syracuse goes and wins this game. Joe Girard playing in Syracuse should be interesting there. If Syracuse can go in and upset Clemson on the road, I think Syracuse is going to be on the right side of that bubble. I like Syracuse since the beginning, and they've been playing great basketball. Recent huge game in the ACC there in Little John Coliseum. Clemson, let's see if you can really just put a real dagger in Syracuse's heart. Are you serious? I mean, Providence goes at Georgetown. Ed Cooley has a chance to get revenge on Providence. That's a good game. Purdue and Illinois. I mean, best 2 teams in the Big Ten playing and showed a huge game at Illinois. Is on Peacock? That's just no, because I don't have Peacock. So I'm gonna have to go watch the highlights of that game. Oh, that hurts. That hurts the system. I'm rooting for Illinois, obviously. I hate Purdue. Purdue would still be a 1 seed if they lose that game. This would just bolster Illinois a lot. I think Purdue won the first match with these two teams, but I'm not sure if that was even with Terrence Shannon when they played. That should be a good one. Horizon League tournament starts on Tuesday. Cincinnati, Oklahoma. I mean, Cincinnati's not going to be a tournament. Oklahoma just get the win. Texas Tech goes on the road. Could be interesting. Second round of the ASIN tournament starts. Uh, Bama, Florida. Florida won't be ranked at the start of that game, but should be an interesting one. Bama, they're going to be ranked by the poll. They're not ranked. This is not a ranked matchup in my opinion at all with not one ranked team. But if Alabama goes on the road and wins, they'll probably be back in my rankings on Wednesday on my Wednesday episode. That's a really good game. Kansas State, Kansas. Let's see if Kansas can avenge their loss to Kansas State earlier this year. Nevada, Boise State. That's an amazing game at 11, and another 11-1. San Diego State's at UNLV. UNLV is a very, very dangerous team at home. I think that's it. That's an episode. Thanks for watching this episode of CBB Talk. I'm tired. It's 8 o'clock. Had a basketball game today. Played golf. Good weekend. We got another week of college basketball, but conference tournament season, baby. It's March. Expect the unexpected. I'm gonna end my every episode like that now. There's no way I'm gonna remember that. All right. Thanks for watching this Sunday episode. If you're watching on Monday, it doesn't matter. Just watch the episode, please. Bye.